Are passport brothers simply men exercising their freedom to find love where they feel valued, or are some using international dating to exploit women and avoid accountability at home? Stay tuned for this provocative topic.
Are you ready for some controversy? Yeah. Are you ready for some fun? Yeah. Yeah. Are you ready for some laughs? Yeah. Let's get unfiltered with Psycho 4081.
Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered with Psycho 4081. And I have two guests that chimed in today because we're going to talk about passport brothers and the controversy surrounding that. Okay, so how you fellas doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Doing pretty good.
Okay, we have Dimitri chiming in, and we have Passport P.
That's right.
So let me guess what that Passport P means.
Oh, y'all.
All right, to kick this off, first of all, since Passport P, would you consider yourself a passport brother?
No.
Okay. The lies we tell.
No. I'm not a passport brother. Well, no. But I'm all for him though. I'm all for him.
So let me for those who are out there listening, let me tell you, I guess we should define what a passport bro is, right? So passport bros are Western men. You know who Western men are, who travel or move to non-Western countries, frequently in Southeast Asia, Latin America, or Eastern Europe, specifically to date or marry foreign women. Now, the controversy around this is the proponents of this activity or this nature. They claim they are just opting out of broken local dating markets to find partners with more traditional values. However, obviously, the opposition says they're just going out there to avoid accountability and to exploit suspecting or unsuspecting women. So now that we got that out of there, are you a passport bro or not?
I'm not a passport bro.
All right, for the record,
Passport
P is not a passport bro.
I left the United States because of a plethora of reasons, not even associated with dating.
Okay.
The United States is a broken system.
Okay. No arguments there.
But hey, I'm in full support of the passport bros though.
All right, so okay, let me just say this before I'm gonna get into the asking some of these interesting questions. Some say, is it because women overseas are genuinely more compatible with their values, or because some American men feel rejected, financially pressured, or disrespected in the American dating market? So why are some men looking overseas for relationships instead of dating American women? Then we're gonna start with Passport P.
I think it's all of the above. I feel like, first of all, I feel like a lot of men, they do want a more traditional type woman. And let's face it. Let's face it. In the United States, you don't have that. I mean, it's very rare, slim to none. And then I do feel that here's my take. I always say this: you go somewhere where you're appreciated, wherever it is. If you go somewhere where you're appreciated, that's you. I don't know why anybody's getting mad because men are deciding to go somewhere where they feel appreciated. If you got a problem, then appreciate them. Change up, do something different.
Okay.
Don't get mad at them because they saw the pot of gold over the rainbow of Colombia and hey,
Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam,
hey, yep,
Costa
it is what
Rica,
it is.
Panama, right?
All of them.
So, okay, very valid. And like I say, you ain't going to get no argument from me on that because What do you say, Dimitri? Do you what do you? First of all, let me ask you: have you ever looked overseas to date women or to get one for
No,
marriage?
I've never looked overseas to date women or to looking for love overseas. I've never done that before.
Okay,
Um, the most I've the most I've done it's been like just out of state.
okay. Now, would you be opposed to it?
uh, I'm in the midst of two people that wanted me to be opposed to it. I would say, I would say, I don't know. Like, if I had opportunity over there and I really trust in myself and I trust in that whole system over there, I would be opposed to it. But as far as just me just being here and just saying looking for love, not really,
Okay,
because I feel like I could find it here.
you can find it here. Okay, so Dimitri says he could find it here. Paul, I think, has a different view. He didn't say he didn't discount.
Absolutely.
He didn't discount.
Absolutely. All right. All right. We gonna really talk about this thing today. All right.
All right, so
So
you're overseas. You're overseas now.
yes,
We won't say where, but unless you want to, but you're
at
overseas,
an undisclosed location.
undisclosed location. Now, considering what he said, considering what
Yes.
you are living now and your
Yes.
experience here, what do you say? What is the difference of now? Because you experience it now. So what is the difference
Right.
between here and there?
So I'm gonna give you two parallels because I lived in the United States system and now I'm here. It's like day and night. It's like day and night because, and I'm not saying all American women. I'm not saying all non-American women or foreign women, but they the non-Western women, they cater to you and they are more traditional as far as taking care of their man, um and just being very I'm not gonna say submissive, but you're not getting
I'll
that.
say it for you.
Okay, well you said, yeah, yeah, okay, well let's call it, yes, submissive,
Exactly.
because you're not getting all that masculine energy, that back talk,
Hmm.
that, oh, you can't do that. I'm a I you shut up. You know what I'm saying? So
And
so
for the record, submissive does not mean servitude,
right,
like some people
submissive does
think.
not mean
Right.
servitude. Right. So um like I said, and I've been on both sides. I've been on both sides, and this is what I've seen. Now, I didn't come over here because I couldn't find love. I was rejected. Oh no, quite the contrary. I did my thing in the United States too.
Right.
But but I didn't come over here for a woman. I came over here for a better quality of life. And by coming over here and seeing a better quality of life, I saw the difference between Western women and non-Western women and their attitudes, how they approach um, dating, how they approach relationships. So I
What do you
Okay.
mean by
admit that.
Western women?
Western women,
Was that
U.S., Canada, you
you?
know, you know,
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Oh, okay.
they're
The,
considered
the
this
women,
country Western,
the, the women that you say you can find love with.
right? All right, so
Gotcha.
let me play devil's advocate because I know we don't have any women on this particular episode right now, but I've heard them say, okay, some women think the problem really isn't women. They believe possibly that it could be men struggling with expectations surrounding income, emotional maturity, and we've heard that in past episodes or whatever. Um, Commitment, marriage, and masculinity. So are passport bros really just escaping American women, or are they just escaping American expectations?
I think they're escaping both.
Okay.
And what women saying, that's a fair assessment, because there are quite a number of men who are trying to escape. Well, let's say this: the American expectation is ridiculous. So hell yeah, I would want
Okay.
to escape the American expectation. The American income expectations are ridiculous. When you look at other countries, and you look at the United States, and you look at what other countries offer people, income, well, income to what they get, and then you look at the United States, it's a scam.
Right.
It's fraudulent. So yes, if you see something, you want to escape that. Why would someone want to be on a hamster wheel for all their life, and then you go over here and you see, well, man, I don't have to bust my ass 40 hours and do that, and I can have a, not the same, but I can have a better
Better.
quality of life.
Right.
That's a no-brainer.
Right.
That's a no-brainer. Now for the men, there are men that go over to these countries, and they like, they, hey, they trying to get sex. But then once again, I'm a call it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Them women over there, man, beautiful Amazons.
and
Man, come on, man. And
and
guess
being
what?
catered to.
Ain't no BBL. Ain't no BBL.
Right.
Ain't no ain't no fake baby hairs. Ain't no big ass eyelashes. I'm just saying. And yes, and they cater to you.
So I'm going to say this. Um, Going back to the first question. Um, I agree with everything you said. People are leaving, going to overseas because they have there's more acceptable, there are more women who are accepting of a traditional relationship. And I'm not talking about traditional when it benefits, or traditional
Right.
today and then something different
Yeah.
tomorrow. So, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You get in where you fit in, right? So, as far as escaping American expectations, I'm gonna say yes. We us men, we
Yeah.
are escaping
Yeah.
American expectations, because the American expectation is not what a lot of men want. But on the second hand, a lot of men aren't putting up. They're not making themselves qualified to be in
Right.
these situations, and that's a moment of honesty. But again, what you just said, commitment is different, right? Marriage is different. So, for example, there's ways of doing things overseas when you want to marry somebody. One, their whole mindset going into marriage, and I'm saying this because I've heard it straight from their mouth, not
Right. Right.
something I heard on TV or whatever. What is, and I would ask them, what is your responsibility as a wife? What is your intent? To serve my husband, to help my husband, right? This is out of their
Yes.
mouths, and I'm not talking about one or two. I'm talking about many women that I've talked to over there. So knowing that, and versus, you know, being here and somebody's constantly telling you, what do you bring to the table? What can you do for me? Or men who have the idea that they're only as good as what they can provide,
Would provide.
right?
I seen a video. Real quick, I seen a video, and I don't know if I sent it to you. This woman said that a man wanted to go out on a first date. Keyword first date.
Mm.
He said he wanted to do something casual, like he, kind of get to know the woman and things like that. She said, "My time is valuable. If we going on a coffee date, then I require you to give me $150 up front." That is the
Mm.
see,
I think I
that
saw
is
that.
the type that is the type of stuff that turns men off and say, I'm not going to deal with this stuff.
Right. Wait a minute, was that the
And
same one who mentioned even with the kids? They have kids, and the guy had to pay for like child care and all that other type of stuff.
no, that's
Oh, so that's
another one.
another one.
That's another video. And
Yeah,
then there's a video where the guy, once again, we talking about first date. Guy goes takes the woman out to the first date. She's ordering 4 plates for her kids at home. And here's the thing, she didn't ask the man, hey, is it all right? She took it upon herself to order these plates. So he's like, well, what's going on? I mean, what's going on? I got kids at home. I want to order them. Um, he's like, well, the courteous thing would have been to ask me, oh,
right,
you don't got it like that? Oh, now you will
right,
flip it on him
right.
and try to make him sound like you
He
broke.
broke, right. So that video that you're talking about, I saw that one too. That they actually do those videos. They're actually skits, but
Oh, okay.
but the skits
Yeah.
are based on real stuff. They just put it
Yes.
out
Yeah.
there. But yeah, that couple actually make quite a few, and they're really good actors. I can tell you that they're really good actors. But yeah, but it's nothing. It's nothing strange because we've heard stories even from friends or
Right.
family that is the same thing. So now talk about feminism, and that's a dirty word to some people, but some men will argue that changing gender roles made American relationships less appealing. Is that a legitimate criticism or is it an oversimplification?
I think it is a legitimate criticism in some aspects.
Absolutely.
Now, as far as withholding like basic general rights, like you have some men that come out and be like, oh, women shouldn't do this, shouldn't be able to vote and all that. Nah, I'm not talking about none of that.
Right. That's the
I'm
extreme.
talking about gender roles where a woman is there's particular roles and set of responsibilities that a woman is typically um looked at to perform in existing roles. And then when you start crossing those lines, that's when everything start getting out of whack.
Right.
Where the woman feel like she the man. She putting on the pants. Like, I wear the pants.
Right. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think when it comes to that, and it has contributed to the rise of passport bros because
Feminine masculinity.
yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, when you have gender roles, you have less confusion and less chances or opportunities to make certain mistakes that'll ruin a relationship. So I'm not saying that you have to have gender roles because sometimes people can flourish in that. But a lot
Right.
of guys and women, when they come into situations where the guy is not, holding up his end of the bargain in a gender role, or whether it's a woman, that's problems. Sometimes there's where the woman is the quote unquote man, takes on those traditional things, the breadwinner, the decision making, and all that other type of stuff. Whereas the man will be like, okay, I let my wife handle that. I know a couple that's like that, and it's perfectly
Right.
fine with them.
Right.
It ain't fine with me. Like that
But
couldn't
it,
be me.
but it
That's
works.
a
But
preference.
it works for them,
It
right?
works for them. Yes, yes,
And I should say this. And I should say this. I'm not just saying. I'm just not saying women crossing over the gender roles. I'm saying men too. Like you said,
right,
if men don't hold up their end of the bargain because men have gender roles that they need to stay in and uphold. But when you don't, if you don't fulfill though your part of the gender roles, this is what happens. Where the woman feels like I'm the
She
man
has
and
to
I
wear
gotta
the
wear the
pants.
pants and
Yeah.
I'm making decisions because you don't have nothing and you don't do what you're supposed to do.
right,
Well, when you in that situation, you gotta own that. Step up and be your man. Get into your role. If
right,
not, that's what you're gonna get.
right. I agree. I agree. Now, Dimitri, I'm gonna go with you. Now I know how you feel about the situation because you talked about it before, with the whole control thing. But let me ask you something. What would you consider to be some gender rules that men should never give up or never transfer
Um.
to the woman?
taking charge. I would say, making the decisions. Okay, as far as like the family, if it's running, are you talking about relationships?
For the no
Like
relationship, the household,
like
relationships,
the
everything.
whole household. I would say making the decisions that we make, that a man makes, far as like, you know, if certain things got to get done around the house, like fixed around the house, we take care of that. We, we I don't want to say we pay the bills because you could split that, but
Oh,
I would
whoa, whoa,
say
whoa, whoa, whoa! Dirty word. There's no
shit.
women on here, but I guarantee 100% they would
Yes,
chime in and be
sir.
like, no, there's no.
Yes,
If you want to
sir.
be traditional, you want to be traditional with everything, but now when it comes to paying the
No,
bills,
but see that to see, and that's where I disagree if they say that, because that can go both ways. You know, if you have a career guy, if she got a career job, it ain't nothing wrong with you as one, and there's nothing wrong with y'all splitting both. But women always put us in a category where we have to pay everything.
okay, sometimes yes, but
So
usually,
that's why I don't.
but usually when that happens, or should in these situations, is that when you have a strictly traditional household, the man does pay the bills, right? The woman does the cook, even if they're working, and out
Right,
of
right.
fairness, even out of fairness, you can't expect a woman to do 40 hours, you do 40 hours, even though you're paying all the bills, and still for her to come home and do the cooking, the cleaning, whatever, whatever. In that case, if she's contributing for her 40 hours, she's contributing, then, you know, a lot of things
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to be split, right? Now, where
right.
where I would say
But
certain things are not naturally, like everybody can't cook, every man can't cook, right? Traditionally, because men wouldn't really cook. Our
no,
family
no, no.
tended, do that.
Yeah,
So let me throw out some.
I
Let me
get, I get,
let me throw out some gender
I
roles.
get, I get that with the cooking
Hmm.
thing or whatever. That's a traditional woman thing. Woman take care of the kids that you cooking. But what I'm saying is, if you meet, just say you meet your woman, right, and both of y'all have big time career jobs.
Hmm.
She's a lawyer, and you are let's just say you are a GM at a hotel, top GM at a hotel or something like that, or corporate CEO of something. So you mean to tell me we have to still take on that man gender role to pay the bills, or pay all the bills on ourselves when
Yes.
you're both coming in as two basically
Yes. Short answer.
Yes.
successful
Short answer is yes.
money.
If she makes
Uh,
if she makes $100,000 and you make $100,000, and you want that traditional household, right? Your $100,000 should be able to cover all the bills. Her money
The
she
key
could pay for
word
her
is
own,
right.
but
The
in
key
that
word is if you want that tradition, if you
exactly.
want that traditional household and you want the traditional gender roles, yes, the man should be the provider.
Hmm.
And if she wants to chip in, that's on her. But
Right.
but under traditional gender roles, yes, even if she's making $100,000, even if she's working, she's coming in, she's gonna go, she's gonna cook, she's gonna clean. Hey, I'm going to take care of the bills.
Exactly. And in that same note, he's taking care of the bills. They both work $100,000 a piece, whatever. She has her money, but she guess what? When she come home, she better get in that kitchen. That
and,
I
and
mean,
get
that's part of
naked
it.
and get naked.
Exactly. And I think that's what where a lot of people have issues with, because they want those roles, but they don't want the full gambit of what is
Right.
involved.
And
Okay.
that's on both sides. Just
Right.
like Dimitri, you a prime example of you want it both ways, because once the issue of splitting or paying or paying the bills, that's when you want to flip the gender roles, but
Right.
you can't have it both ways.
Exactly. Pull out that wallet, daddy.
okay, yeah, but what if the woman's a lawyer and she's working just as many hours as you? She don't have time to cook and do all that, then what? And she's
The
not cooking. She's not cooking.
order takeout, order takeout. But she can clean though.
And
No,
No,
but she don't have time to. No, I'm saying
so
y'all are working. Let's say y'all got the same, not the same, big career jobs, right? And y'all both putting in over multiple hours. And you don't, you know, time is very limited, right? For y'all two, okay? And the time differences is the same. She don't have time to cook and do all that or whatever, and you don't have you know you being your man role whatever, but she don't have time to do that because of her job. Then what?
then
This
just
is
like
what
he
I'm saying.
said, then like just like he said, she better hire or order takeout. So it
or
doesn't relieve
or
her of her responsibilities.
or simple question. Just like we go to the base of the podcast. He becomes a passport bro.
Yeah, that's the alternative.
I mean, you just said you just said if they're both working and she doesn't have, and he's the provider. Now here's the thing. I'm saying he's the provider, and you said that she doesn't have time to cook or to clean or do that, and he's operating in his gender role. That's why men are becoming quote unquote passport bros because they feel like they can get that the equation, the part of the equation that's missing on the woman's side.
I agree. But even going back to
Well,
what you were saying, which is like with all things equal, they don't have time for either one. The man still pays all the bills, but she still has to make sure that that this food ready. Whether she because she's I mean it's not like she's poor, she can order out, or if she needs to have the home cleaned or whatever, then that means she needs to pay out of her money, pay for
Or
maid
maid.
service. You know that's easy. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it goes both ways. Now, let me ask you something. And this is a personal opinion. You know, are American women actually harder to date, or have American men simply become less willing to compromise? Mm,
That's a good one. I think it's a little, not a little, it's a
it's a
lot of
lot.
both. A lot of both. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. American women have become harder to date is because of what they see, of what they see on TV is what they believe. This is how a relationship should go. This is how the they feel like if you want to date me, you got to have the bag. You can't be broke. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do that. You got to do that. They have a whole bunch of stipulations before you even. I mean, damn. I mean, it's like you walking into a job interview and the list of requirements is so long, and then we're men are not men are not compromising because when a man compromises, this is just me, and I'm not saying all men.
Mm,
When a man typically compromises, he always gets the short end of the stick because what they say, you give him a yard, they're taking a mile.
right.
That's
What do you say about that, Dimitri? You think that?
I think it's more of women hard to American women are hard to date.
Okay, okay. Now,
Because you know, like Paul, you said it earlier. Like it's a very slim chance you you find American women the same as international women far as dating them. When you see when you get over there and you see the difference, you like, whoa, this is a landslide. It's like, oh, American women, you got, like you said, requirements and this and this and this and this and this, and they expecting all this and that and this and that, and you know how women are in general. I think it's the American women are hard to date.
You know what? I'm not going to doubt that, and let me tell you why. And Paul, you've dated women from other countries.
Yeah,
Dimitri, I'm not sure. Have you?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so we all
But
have.
they were from other countries, but they were in America.
Okay, so they are actually harder to date, and I think the main reason is because of expectations on both ends. Actually, foreign women have an expectation of you're the provider, you're the protector, and I'm saying this, traditionally that's how they
yeah.
are, and then they basically handle the rest. Where now in American society now, and there's no, I'm not blaming American women because really it's not all their fault.
It's just it's
Just
the society in general.
exactly. They're looking at 50%. You know, I'll do half and you do half. Ideally, but there's a relationships where they say they want 50%, they expect 50%, but it really isn't. But also, you got to account that a lot of women are forced into that situation because a lot of times men don't step up to the plate. So
That's true.
in that case, where they're almost forced into that situation. But still, it doesn't negate the fact that it makes it harder. It's easier over there than over here.
But Western women, American women, they still operate on an outdated system because think about this, right? And we had this discussion before. American women are still operate on an outdated model because if you look at everything in America, men are really the rare prize because we said that.
Right.
If you look at the numbers of men who maybe are ambitious, educated, then the ones that are not ambitious, educated, then the ones who are incarcerated, then the ones who are homosexual, you know, the pool is shortened. So I went to school for I was an economics class, and I understand uh, what supply and demand, scarcity, right? So anytime a product or commodity is scarce, it becomes more valuable. So in the model, the American man, I'm not even saying American man, I'm saying the man in America, because of the scarcity of what women are looking requiring, they become more valuable. But somehow the woman still believes that, oh,
They're the prize.
we're more valuable. Right. So they are operating on an outdated model. Where on the flip side, if you go over to non-Western countries, it's different.
Right.
They understand the model. Now, in 2022, I tell a story all the time. I love a story. I went to Sydney, Australia in 2022. And I'm always going to tell the story. I booked a one-way ticket for 10 days. I ended up staying an extra 20 days. It wasn't because of the food. It wasn't because the sights. No, it wasn't none of that. It was because when I got there, man, them women, they treated me like I was like I was Denzel Washington. I was the king. I was the king of
Ah.
Sydney for 30 days. They came, they picked me up, they took me, they paid for my dinner, they paid for my breakfast, paid for my lunch. They took me, they said, have you seen this movie? No, because it was not an American movie. Well, come on, let's go. They took me to the movie theater. They took me to a cafe. They took me to an R&B club. This was mostly every single day. And I was like, wow, it felt good for someone to cater to cater to me. And that's when I got that's when I got an appreciation of how men and women relationships outside of the United States were.
So let me ask you something. Um, that's a financial thing as well, right? So
Yes.
do you think that the passport bros would exist at the same level If American men were more financially successful. I made that backwards. If more American men had fat pockets, were more financially successful in the various ways, do you think that they would be going overseas for those women as well?
I still believe they would.
I, I, I
Because,
don't think. Yeah, I don't think they would.
and why? And why not?
Yeah, why?
I'm a
What's
because they can get the product that's here. Simple
Okay,
as that.
you're saying that if the American men had more money, was financially successful, and all the stuff that they see on TV, like
I don't think. I don't think. I don't think they would be driven to go across seas to look for women. To look for the American dream and a woman that they can get in America.
okay,
I don't.
because they have more options, because financially, the higher
Because
you go, the more options you get.
reason why I say that because and Paul, you understand me more on this one because money changes everything. Far as it's going to, the women is going to be drawn to you more of a success on it here than you drawn to them. Because now
but you
when
said
you
something.
had,
You you said
huh?
something key. You're right. Money draws women, but it does not diminish their expectations. Like the more money you make, as a if a man makes more money, you you you're not going to get less financial expectation from a woman.
You
It's
get
going to
more.
only increase.
You're right.
Like if
Yeah.
I make 10,000 more dollars in the United States, the woman is not going to diminish her expectations because I made more money. No, in fact, it's going to go up.
Right.
So basically, as your money goes up, your expectations go up.
Right.
It's just like inflation. It's just like inflation. It ain't nothing changing. When you go on Walmart and you buying you buying uh uh potatoes or whatever at this price, inflation go up. You buying it for like $2 more. Man, your money, shoot, you may make $2 more, but it's the same thing.
Right. So I see that because again, if you're making more money and you have more opportunities, you have more abilities to acquire more things, to do more things. So does those expectations. So you're still going to get the ones in there, and I think the issue with that is too with a lot of guys is that once you do hit that level of financial success and you can do more things and acquire more things and all that other type stuff, now the question comes in: is it this love for me, or is it love for what I can provide?
Right, right.
More than the average guy, because now it's you're doing more. Okay, that's something to think about. I don't know if it would decline. I think that if you have more money, you would get those that you want with that money.
If if I drove up in a Ferrari or a Lamborghini,
Mm-hmm.
right? The do you think the 15 or 20 women that are coming to me are coming because of me or because I drove up in a Ferrari or the Lamborghini?
Exactly.
They're coming because you drove up in a
They-
Ferrari and a Lamborghini.
Exactly.
Okay, so what happens is this: when they come to me because I'm driving in a Ferrari and Lamborghini, they have a certain expectation. It ain't about me anymore. It's about what they think I can give them, what I
Right.
what they think I can provide for them. Now, if they come up and a Lamborghini, I got a Lamborghini Ferrari, and they say, "Oh, we'll be going to eat," and I'm like, "Oh, let's go to the Waffle House."
And they say
They looking
Waffle
at me
House,
like,
right?
yeah, they looking at me. Oh, you driving this? You driving this? You
Right.
can't. You got women who get turned off when a brother say, "Hey, let's go to the Cheesecake Factory." You
Right.
think if I drive up and that's really the problem in America because
Yes.
people are so ungrateful.
Mm-hmm.
Like they look at relationships, everything is transactional.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So
So so
let me ask you something. You don't think
yeah.
if you take that same money and go across country, all right, and you pull up in a Ferrari, you don't think the international women going to think the same? They're
Sure.
going the expectations going to be high over there too.
They
So they're
Sure,
are.
but
looking
guess
at
what?
you what you coming
But
in.
guess what? If I roll up on foot, I'm still I know I'm still going to get the more or less the same
Right.
type of woman.
Right.
And in the United States, negative, negative.
You roll up on foot, you leave it on foot. Solo.
That's right.
That, I mean, this is how it is.
You might
So,
get a foot in your ass.
all right, so I'm gonna break here for a second, and because I want a word of the day. I'm trying to mix the words of the day in here somewhere, but words of the day. So for those who don't know, if you get the word of the day for each episode during the month, you have the opportunity to win a prize. So today's word of the day, Dimitri, give me the word of the day.
Expectations.
Expectations. Okay. So today's word of the day is expectations. Get that in. If you get all the ones for this month of, I guess it's August, email it to unfiltered.psycho4081@gmail.com, and you have the opportunity to win a prize. First come, first serve with those numbers. And let me just point out that we didn't have one for July. So if you guys get all the ones for July and email it, you still have the opportunity to win both July and August. All right, but thank you. So, all right, moving on to the real nitty gritty. This is going to make most people
Ah,
uncomfortable, right?
I
And
know
we're
it.
going to talk about this. Are foreign women really better, quote unquote better? So, question is, do passport bros genuinely prefer foreign women, or do they prefer the power dynamics they believe comes with dating abroad? Now, this is a moment of honesty. I'm going to repeat it. Do passport bros genuinely prefer foreign women, or do they prefer the power dynamics they believe come with dating abroad? Now, when you talk about power dynamics, when you dating abroad,
Uh-huh.
one, the currency exchange is much better, so you
Yeah.
have more. You're worth more over
Wait,
there. You can do
Yes.
more over there.
are you talking about do you say broad? Are you talking about American women when you say broad? Or
No,
you just,
no, abroad.
it's all international women.
No, when I say do they believe the power dynamics that comes with dating abroad, meaning dating overseas?
Okay.
So, like for example, if you was to go to, let's say, I'm gonna throw a country out there. Let's say Eswatini, the kingdom of Eswatini, where the currency exchange is way high. You go in there, you can afford a lot more over there, right? Um, that's big for somebody who's going overseas. And like I said, I mean, that's a gift. To be honest, and we
Listen.
want to be honest. That's a gift. You
Yeah.
can
Listen.
you can go over there and do
We
more
all
with
watch
less,
come. We all watch Coming to America.
right?
We all watch Coming. Who the hell don't want to go be Prince Akeem?
Right.
I'm just come on now. Come on now. Who don't want to be Prince Akeem?
Yep.
I think the power. I think the attraction of the power dynamic is strong. Like
Right.
who doesn't want to have be looked at as more valuable or more powerful in the particular relationship?
Right. And now, make no mistakes. When you do go overseas and you get a foreign girlfriend or a foreign bride, if you're not making what would be considered a decent amount of money over there, you're on even ground here. They're still not looking
Right,
for somebody who won't be able to take care of a family while they do their part. So either way, that's a plus. That is a huge
right.
plus. But I'm gonna say for me personally, I prefer. I'm not even gonna say prefer foreign women. I like foreign women because of the culture. It's different,
Yes,
and they come with that. For the most part, they come with that traditional grounding. You can find that here in the United States. You can, but it's just a little. It's like drinking tea, and then somebody add a little cinnamon to your tea. Now it's a little just a
Yes.
little different, but then throw in the fact that that cinnamon in your tea costs $10 here, and you got $20 in your pocket, and you go over there, it costs 20 cents, right? That's the power dynamics. So yeah, if the power dynamics always amps it up more, and I think rightfully so. I can't speak on what they do, the passport bros or whatever, but I can imagine why they wouldn't be going to some of these places where the U.S. dollar is worth less than it is here. You're
No,
taking exactly, you're taking a chance. So I get that. So
I believe the mindset is different too.
absolutely.
I believe that, yeah, the general mindset is different because when you these countries now, I'm gonna tell you, here's the biggest misconception. People in America still thinking that America is a first world country. like like you still operate, people in America still believe that there's these countries are not technologically advanced and cannot give them
The
the
comforts.
comforts and conveniences.
Yes.
They are sadly
Yeah.
mistaken.
You know what's so funny?
And
I don't mean to interrupt, but just going by
yeah,
what
go
you
ahead.
said, right? I see. Let's take Thailand, right? I'm looking
Yes,
at the video where the woman's going into her apartment. That is, I think it was like $400 or $450 a month,
yes,
and she
yes,
got the facial recognition to get into the building.
yes. This is all real. This is
All
all.
the technology that we would find in a place that would probably be costing her about $8,000 a month instead of
Yes,
$450 a month. So yeah, but I don't like to compare countries in that note because there's certain things that we
yeah,
get here that they don't have, and just
that's
just
true.
just thinking about certain things. But what you said though, if you have the belief that you can't get the same quality of life or better quality of life overseas, and you have that arrogance in your head that America's at the top of everything,
Yeah,
you're grossly mistaken. Grossly
mistaken.
mistaken, right?
I'm gonna even give you a conversation. I'm gonna give you a quick conversation. I told Dimitri that I was going to the movies. Right?
Hmm.
He said they got movie theaters over there. So I
I
said,
can't deny.
what? I said what? So I was trying to send him videos of these movies. These movie theaters make the United States movie theaters look like literally shitholes. The malls, the malls in these countries will put American malls to shame. The different stores or the different we're not even going to talk about the dental. If you go get different type of dental work or
Oh, any
whatever
any
type
type
of,
of healthcare. Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll put America to shame.
Let me tell you, back in the '90s, I guess it was like '92. I was in Norway. Was it Norway?
Mm,
I was in
mm,
Norway. Okay, so we just first of all, I liked how they had the sidewalk cafes or whatever. They had everything out
yeah,
there and whatever, whatever. But we decided to go see a movie, and the movie was it Basic Instinct? Which was the movie? Yeah, it was Basic Instinct. Was that
that's it. Yeah, Sharon
Michael?
Stone.
Sharon
Yeah,
Yes,
Stone and Michael Douglas.
yes. We saw
Yeah.
that, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. It was a good movie. Blah blah blah. Typical, movie theater. Wasn't like we had the best, and they had. It was just typical movie theater. But when I learned when I got back that the same movie that we saw here in the U.S. is not the same movie that you get over there. So that's one,
right.
right? We get
What you mean by that?
there was a lot of cuts in the American movie. All right. So the
Oh,
movie that you saw in Norway was less edited, put it that way,
Right.
right?
mm.
That was one. And the television shows are the same way. Now, talking about all the technology, and don't go to South Korea or Japan or somebody Singapore. You know, these
Oh my
countries,
goodness.
and I'm gonna tell you the reason. I'm not gonna tell you the reason, but this is what I believe is the reasons. This country is lagging behind because we spend so much money on military, the military
Yes.
machine, where others don't have to do that. They don't have to put the billions of dollars they get, from tourism and agriculture and this and that, whatever. They don't have to spend that on, their half of their budget on the military machine. But anyway, that's
Right.
another story. But yeah, go back to what you said. Yeah, if you out here and you thinking that you can't get better overseas, you are grossly mistaken. They have things that are fully automated. I'm talking about the vending machines that you can get full meals from. It's just ridiculous what they have over there that we don't have because obviously we the government likes to protect American interests by not letting certain
Yes.
things into the country because it would outshine like that Chinese car BYD. They got an electric car
Yes.
BYD that does like 360 parking and all other type stuff and all these bells and whistles and probably a quarter of the price. What would happen if they let
Yep.
that company here, right? So not to get off on a tangent, but yeah, you can go overseas and benefit. Even if you go to more of the poorer places, you're coming there basically. I'm a let's say I'm a thousand air here, but over here I'm a millionaire. You know, as far as the living standards, who wouldn't do that?
Right.
With the for or without a woman, who wouldn't want to do that? That's just icing on the cake. So, all right. Speaking about women here and there, when a man says women overseas are more feminine, what exactly does he mean by that?
Or
No,
first, or first.
less women masculinity,
Okay, and in what ways?
because women are more submissive over there,
Okay.
and over there and over here, like we talked about earlier, you got the woman. Once you go out of the gender thing, you got the woman. They're gonna try to take charge, even though you got a lot of this. What we ain't talk about when you do take charge, the women still go outside their element and try to take charge. You have less of that over there in international. They're more submissive.
Okay.
You know why? You know why? Because women are more aggressive here because of the capitalistic society and model of the United States.
Mm,
Because it's always gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. I don't need no man. I gotta get it. If
right.
he don't step up, I gotta get it. It's different over there. So yes, you're going to have a bunch of women um trying to rise to the top. Male fuel testosterone because they've been taught by the capitalistic society of the United States that if you want to get ahead and have a good life and do this, hey, you gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do this stuff. And if the man ain't doing it for you, you got to do it on your own. So yes, they're going to be more aggressive, more dominant. And I'm not blaming them. I'm saying it's the
The
society
society
and the
that, yeah.
environment that
Okay.
they're raised in. Whereas on the flip side, when you go over to these countries, they don't have that's not where that's not there.
But you mentioned
Mm.
basically you mentioned gender roles, submission,
Yes,
hospitality, right?
yes,
Um, so I'm gonna add another thing in there. Family orientation, right? Where
yes,
they still have close connections with the elders, and the elders
yes.
expect them to behave a certain way, right?
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I see it every day. they have reverence and respect for the elders to the highest level. They it's like, and they they will never do anything or try not to do anything to the shame and look bad in the eyes of their elders. I see it every day, and I think that's what keeps so many um of these women um really in that now
Grounded.
traditional,
Right.
yes, grounded,
Okay.
yes,
Now let me ask you something, and I'm gonna ask you because you're there, right?
yeah.
How does that translate into, let's say, sexual behavior?
Okay, okay.
Better, same,
Well,
worse?
I want to say, and I want to say, okay, in America, it's all everything goes in America. It's like, you got stuff going. I mean, you're not gonna find that type. You're not gonna find a lot of that type stuff just anywhere, But as far as sexual relations, when you're coming from America and you're used to a lot of stuff, they're not exposed to a lot of that. So they may be inexperienced, or they really shy about the whole situation,
Okay.
about exposing them to different things. So
Now,
that is an adjustment.
what I heard from a lady on Instagram who's
Yes,
she's Filipino, as a matter of fact.
yes,
She says quite the opposite. She says that a lot of guys come over there and they basically get turned out by
damn.
some of the,
What?
yeah. She got, I don't know her name, but she has a profile where she always talks about the Philippines basically and the differences, and she warns some guys about, don't go over there thinking you got a girlfriend and you really got a
No,
worker.
no, you're right. You're right. But that's white men. That's white
It's
men. No, hey, I'm just gonna keep it a buck.
right.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. White men, white men come over here and and you're right, they get turned out. They get turned out for their money.
Mm.
They think they got they think they got this or this wife. And no, your money going to help their family, and they be like, you don't got no money,
But
you done.
she said if they
But
come
I
from a,
seen that, but I seen that for white men.
okay, you know what, I saw that also while I was in the Navy too. You do see that, and I'm sure you've seen that, right? But she said if you're dealing with a somebody like a poor lady, not so much money
Yeah.
and whatever, but she got the latest iPhone. She says you don't have a you don't have a girlfriend,
Oh
you have a
yeah.
worker, right?
Yeah. The latest iPhone. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So my last question, what I want to discuss before the end of this part one of this episode, um, and this is a moment of honesty too, and then for all the guys out there who do go over there and get into, um, all the different countries and see all the beautiful women and you know come back with all the stories, the pictures, the whole nine. Now, here's the thing: a man may spend 2 weeks in Colombia, Thailand, Ghana, Brazil, Philippines, Costa Rica, whatever, right? And they'll conclude that women are completely different, how we often do. We say that, right?
Right. Right.
But is he experiencing the culture or simply experiencing quote unquote vacation dating? Now, your perspective is a little different because you're there.
Yeah.
You're there. But a lot of guys will come back and say, they're different, they're this, they're that, and this and that, whatever. But they're really vacation dating. So the
Yes.
question:
Yes.
are the passport bros romanticizing women from other countries because they really don't know?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Because passport bros are going over there for specific things.
right.
You know what I'm saying? They're romanticizing. listen, let's call it what it is. They going over there to have sex. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Because the women, I'm telling you, women over there are beautiful. They're exotic, and your regular woman over there is like is a Miss Universe looking woman.
Right.
So they're going to romanticizing as opposed to the man or woman who goes over there to make a lifestyle change. Then they fall in love with the culture because they're there for the long haul, and they're experiencing the economic benefits, they're
Right.
experiencing the lifestyle benefits, they're experiencing the traditional family benefits,
Mm-hmm.
whereas most of the passport bros are going over there for the quick
Fun.
vacation, hit, have a great time, and they coming back.
Right. So, and a person who actually relocates there or stays, not just relocates, let's say spends a significant amount of time, not a couple weeks, not a couple months, but a significant amount of time,
Yeah.
can experience the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows,
Yeah.
the good, the bad, and the ugly, and still come up and say, okay, well, yeah, this is a good situation or this is what it is, instead of, you know, you visiting. And funny enough, we just came back and we visited Cincinnati, right?
Right.
Perfect example, even if it's domestic, right? We went to Cincinnati,
I like
and
Cincinnati.
okay, I did too. So my thing was like, for forever, I always looked at Cincinnati as being like a raggedy rundown,
Yes. Yes.
WKRP in Cincinnati. You see the,
Yes. Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
And then when I got there, I'm like, oh my God, I like this. It's a beautiful
That's
city.
exactly what I thought.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
But in that same note, I could come back on this from this trip and say, you know what? There's a lot of, pluses, this, and that, whatever. But did I really live the entire Cincinnati experience? Nope.
No.
I didn't
Just
go
like,
through
okay,
the hood.
prime example. Prime example. I've been here 9 months. I've seen the ups, the downs, the beautiful and the uglies. I there's things that annoy me constantly. Like for instance, I told you that one of the biggest annoyances that I have is they have what's called brownouts,
Oh yeah,
where
yeah.
the electric goes. That annoys me. But but that's that's one thing. That's the thing. The pros and the beauty and everything else far outweighs the minor annoyances.
Right.
Those things, yeah, they annoy me because I like to. No, nobody wants their electric to go off, like especially in your middle of doing something. That shit sucks, man. But I'm not. I wouldn't come back and say, "Oh man, this is the worst country in the world," because nah, I don't like that. But everything else far outweighs
Right.
that.
So, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that when I looked at other places to live, that was a major concern of mine, because it's annoying. It's annoying here. We every time the
Yes.
wind blows in my old neighborhood, it was like, all right, power's out. But I got solar, so I never have to worry about that again. So even with that, knowing you go into a different country and you find out the some of the bad things, is a little bit easier to mitigate those things, to fix those
Yes.
things. And so I think that's a big thing. But yeah, this is interesting. So when we come up on part two, we're going to talk about the traditional woman, the situation after some years of marriage. We're going to talk about sex
Right.
tourism, speaking on what we was talking
Yeah.
about. We're going to talk about money, power, economics, which is a huge factor. We're going to talk about race when it comes to those passport bros too, because that,
Hmm.
regardless of what anybody say, race always matters.
Yes, it
And
does.
we're going to talk about marriage and immigration, which is significant.
Yeah.
You know, so you guys, hopefully you come back for part two of this, and we'll see you at the next part.
Thank y'all for tuning into another episode of Unfiltered with Psycho 4081. Big respect to our guests for keeping it real, and love to every listener rocking with us week after week. This conversation ain't over yet. Stay locked in for the next episode coming soon. Until next time, Keep it unfiltered with Psycho 4081.